Gemini, happy October 2017. This is Dark Dove Tarot. Hope everybody is doing fantastic. As you know, I always pre-shuffle, but I am going to add a little energy before we get started. So I did the mid-month reads with a new deck, but I've decided to use the deck I always do, the Raven's Prophecy, because they're orange and black and very Halloween-y for this month. So again, Gemini, I hope you're doing fantastic. Dark Dove Tarot, as you know, and I move pretty fast. I have a lot to say, and I don't want to take up too much of your time. That's why I don't shuffle a ton on screen. I'm doing the deck face up. I've been doing that this month for every read just because I kind of feel like maybe I could get more vibrational energy off of it, if that makes sense. Something I'm reading about. But just kind of wanting to see if there's more connections, more signs that we could pay attention to during the reads. If you don't like it, message me, let me know. I'm always interested in finding out, you know, how you feel, what you like, what you don't like, etc. And oftentimes it seems to be, you know, a lot of the same people. Sorry, this card flipped out and now I can't grab it. There we go. It seems to be the same people kind of commenting and letting me know what they like, which is much appreciated because I love my subscribers. I love the people who, you know, email me, but I want to know what you guys think. So any, you know, comments, subscribes, likes, emails, I always get back to everybody and very much appreciated. Just let me know what you think. You know, I do this for you, so if there's anything that you want done differently, if, you know, whatever, let me know. All right, so general read. Always super important to remember that. There's, you know, lots of different outcomes for lots of different people. So check your sun, moon, and rising. Sometimes those, you know, different signs will resonate with you more than others during that month. So again, check your sun, moon, and rising. If you do want a private read, the information is in the description. And let's get started. All right, so I'm pulling the theme for the month, and you have the star. Gemini, that's beautiful. And you have the outcome as the star. So, wow. All right, so whatever happens throughout this, you know you're in a good place because you have the star, one of my favorite cards. So let's get moving, Gemini. The first card you have is your current position coming into the month, and you have the 8 of Cups, which has actually shown up in a lot of reads this month. So I don't know what's going on with this. This means that you guys want something to move faster than it's moving, but you're not forcing it, which actually this is kind of forcing, and it's interesting. Those are both 8s, but the 8 of Cups is your current position, especially if you're single. This is about not feeling satisfied. Like maybe your dating life is not moving in the direction you want it. You're not meeting the people you thought you were going to meet, or maybe you've met a few people and it's just not moving fast enough. You're feeling like it's kind of stagnant. So I feel like Gemini's not having too much of an issue meeting people to date, meeting people to talk to, but maybe you're having an issue with, you know, somebody's telling you, hey, I really like you, or you've told them, hey, I really like you, and you both kind of have agreed, and yet it's just kind of sitting still, and you're going, well, I want to be off this dating site. I want to get done with all the crap I'm dealing with in dating, whether you're doing it online, whether you're doing it in meetup groups. You're kind of just over it, and I feel like Gemini's impatience coming into October is just kind of growing, and you're just going, okay, I'm done. I don't want to keep doing this. I like you. I thought we were both in agreement, or maybe a few people. And so you're like, hey, I've been dating a couple people for the past few weeks, past few months. And like, where are we going? What's going on? Could also be that you're on the dating site or you're doing the meetup groups and you're not meeting anybody. You're just weeding through all this BS and you're going, isn't there anybody out there for me? Isn't there anybody who's genuine, true to themselves? You know, somebody showing good signs of being somebody I could date or build on with. and you're kind of like, I think that if you're still dating, or you're still on sites, or you're still doing meetup groups, although I think a lot of you really are kind of very selective, and you may have met one or two people that you're talking to, but you're still perusing, you know, the dating sites or whatever you've been doing in the past to meet people. And so you're kind of moving through almost like mechanical, like a robot. You're just kind of like, next, next, next. So, I mean, if that's how you really feel, maybe not focus on dating so much, or maybe focus on other things to kind of get your mind off of it. Because you don't want the impatience to grow to a point where, you know, then it's not realistic, or the expectations aren't realistic, or the people you're meeting, you know, you're just automatically already in that negative headspace. If you're looking to reconcile, I feel like maybe you've been in contact with that person, or they've been in contact with you. If not, it's going to be coming up. And I think that there's like an agreed upon, hey, we still have a strong connection. Hey, do you love me still? Yes, I love you still. Or hey, do you still want to possibly make things work? Or do you still, you know, think about me? And they're saying yes, and you're saying yes, but maybe you or they, although I feel like Gemini, it's you, are just feeling like dissatisfied with the outcome. Like you thought you guys were gonna pick up where you left off, and now you're going, the heck is this? I haven't heard from them in 2 or 3 days. What is going on here? Like, you're saying one thing, that you want this, this, and this, but your actions are showing me something completely different. The next card you have is your internal feelings coming into the month of October, and you have the 4 of Coins. 4 of Coins is somebody who is being very miserly, somebody who is possessive, being very frugal. So if you're single, I think that very interestingly, you're dating somebody and you are wanting it to move pretty fast. Not dating exclusively yet, but dating, again, 1, 2, 3 people that you're interested in. And you're feeling kind of like, you know, I've given you all I've got. I've told you what I can tell you, and it's just not moving in the direction I want. And the 4 is kind of saying, you know, you're gonna start like strangling it a little bit, like you're tightening the rope, and you may just need to be patient, because some of you are very excited about it. This star right here for the theme of the month is all about hope. It's all about inspiration. So nothing bad can come out, and you're one of the only other signs that got a card in your spread that's actually the theme of your month. And to have the star, come on, Gemini. That's amazing. But some of you are being a little impatient. Some of you are wanting things to happen now, and you want them to go the way you want them to go. And you're feeling a little bit like, you know, come on now, what are we doing? I like you. We talked about this. You know, on the opposite end, it could be them pushing you a little bit. And maybe you're feeling like you're pushing me a little faster than I'm willing to go right now. But Gemini, I really strongly feel like this card is representing you, and you kind of saying, okay, what's going on? You know, I made my feelings clear. Why aren't we moving into anything, you know, more serious, or getting off this, you know, dating platform, like I said. So just be careful with the 4, because you don't want to become almost possessive, or, you know, you don't want to like get in their space, so to speak. The whole point of dating is to date multiple people. And for all you know, that this person, or the few people that you're dating, and again, this may be coming through October. It may not be right this second. So you may be like, Dark Dove, that's not what's happening right now. But that's what may be coming to fruition. But again, it could be that you're like, hey, you know, I'm interested, you're interested, why isn't this moving forward? And that's understandable, because it's like you're excited, but it's almost becoming like negative energy. And I don't think you're being possessive in a negative way at all. I just kind of feel like you don't, like, everybody's dating, right? And so nobody really has the right to be like, well, you know, you can't date, because that's the whole point of this. So you both have to be on the same level. And I think you've met some people who are on the same level with you, but you also have to understand that they have other ties to, excuse me, to break. Or they may be deciding between 1 or 2 people. And I know some of you are like, that sucks. I don't want to hear that. But it's true, right? And I've been there personally, where, you're dating people and then you meet one or two people and you're like, I really like him or her, whatever. And then they're like, hey, I really like you a lot. And you're going, well, I'm dating one or, I mean, that is the point of dating. So take it easy for a minute. Just sit back and relax. You have the stars coming. So take it with ease. If you're looking to reconcile, this is either you being possessive or your ex being possessive. And this is saying, again, I think maybe like you're excited that you're talking again and you're going, come on, thought we were getting back together. Thought we would be texting every day. I thought that, you know, things would be good. And you're feeling like, hey, like, you know, you should be giving me your time and attention, and they're not. But to be perfectly honest, even if you're feeling like that, and even if, you know, you're being a little overbearing, again, it could be opposite. It could be them. But even if you're feeling that way and you are being a little, you know, feeling like, hello, we're together again, or we've talked about this and we want to be together, remember that feeling. Because for some of you, that feeling is going to be something that you're going to realize if they wanted to get back together with you, if they cared about you, if they felt strongly for you, they would be monopolizing your time too, or vice versa. If they're coming after you, trying to get your attention, you would be monopolizing their time. If you don't want to be with somebody, or they don't want to be with you, there's gaps, right? Don't you remember when you were dating somebody and you really, really liked them and you wanted to be with them, and you spent all this time texting back and forth and talking on the phone for hours? If you're not there, that may be something to look at and question about reconciling. The next card you have is the Ten of Swords, and this is your distant past. So over the past, you know, few years, could be 10 years. Ten of Swords, I always say with these hand cards, the 9 and 10 of Swords, don't let the ugly hand crush you. Now, the past card I always bring up because either you have something good to remember about the past this month, or something to remember to avoid in behaviors, etc., in relationships. I always read this with singles and people looking to reconcile together. The Ten of Swords is suffering. It's illness, it's ending, it's tragedy, it's death. Again, this is your past. So there's a plethora of things that could have happened, but it could be, you know, a spouse, a child, somebody who passed away in a past relationship, and it completely crushed you. It was depression, anxiety. It was misery. It could be also that when you were growing up, you know, a mother or a father figure died and you had a hard time getting over that. And could be, you know, that you watched a relationship, you know, end, or a new relationship develop after those types of tragedies. It could be that, you know, you didn't have a mother or father figure growing up because of some sort of illness or loss, or even a grandparent, somebody that was close to you, and that has affected you being able to get close to other people because you have that same fear. Well, if I get close to this person, they're just going to die anyways. Or if I get close to this person, it's only going to end in heartbreak. Terrible place to be, understandable. And so you just have to be really careful with that, because it's interesting, Gemini. It feels like you're kind of rushing into like, hey, I really like this person, or hey, I really want to meet somebody amazing. And yet on the back end, part of your fear is maybe you're sabotaging it, or you're overthinking it to a certain extent, because you may be going, well, I really want to meet somebody spectacular, but then what if I meet somebody spectacular and there's a tragedy, or it doesn't work, or somebody gets sick, or... So some of you, excuse me, this month, maybe I'm coming down with something that's been like clogging my sinuses and stuff, but some of you may be like, you know, kind of teetering. I want to meet somebody special, and you're almost coming across as anxious or overbearing, or they are to you, again, because I know I'm going to get messages, people saying, you know, well, it's not me, it's them, and that's fine. Again, this is general. But the 10 is saying at some point in your life, and it's almost like the hand is saying, stop, hold up. At some point in your life, there was something tragic. And in that tragedy, every time I see this card, it just makes me want to like hug everybody who gets this card. Because it does feel like it's one of the worst cards to get in the distant past, because it does speak of major illnesses and just very, you know, negative things that have affected people. And so I think this month you may be battling that at some point, or those emotions of, you know, and it could be something as, you know, I wish my mom or dad could be here to give me advice, or I wish my grandparents, or I wish my aunt or uncle. And again, it could be kids too. It could be, you know, somebody has lost a child along the way and you're finally getting back out in the dating scene, or it's something you've progressed to and you're almost like feeling lost. Gemini, honestly, when I see this card for you guys this month, it's like, you know what you want and you're meeting people and you're dating and you've given it time, or you've healed from a lot of those wounds, but part of you is going, you know, is it really worth it to meet somebody to love, or to be loved, when I'm afraid that there could be an ending. It doesn't have to be a tragic ending either. It could just be maybe you have issues with things not working out the way you wanted them to. Okay, the next card you have is going to be your most recent past, so the past few weeks, past few months, and you have the Eight of Wands, which is very quick movement, like I said. So, if you're single, this is telling me some of you may be trying to force something to move along. Maybe you met somebody, it's like love at first sight, or somebody that you're like, yes, you would be fantastic for me. We would be great together. You cannot force it. And the Wands is, you know, the Wands are saying, whoa, like slow it down. So again, Gemini, like I said, it could be somebody doing it to you, but you've got to slow your roll. Like whatever you're doing is going to push these people away from you. So if you're dating, take your time, get to know people, allow them to do what they need to do, because you don't know them well enough necessarily to decide what they're doing or what they're not doing. And it could also be some of you Gemini are, you've been dating a few people or one or two people for quite a while, and could be like a few months, and you're going, okay, like, what are we doing here? And that's okay, and that's acceptable. Again, just remember the stars you have here. But the Eight of Wands, and something significant, excuse me, about the eights, because the eights are both about cards of movement. So I think that some of you already feel like you know this person, or the one or two people could be really good for you and you're ready to move. And it's not that they're not, because I don't get the feeling that this person or these people you're talking to don't like you as much as you like them. It's that maybe they move slower. Maybe they have the same fears. Maybe, again, they just kind of need to clear the slate, and you need to be patient with them and let them do it. If you're looking to reconcile, it's the same thing. I think that some of you are going, wait a minute, we talked. You said you liked me. You still had a connection. I said I liked you. What are we doing here? This is not okay. Like, you're saying one thing and doing something completely different. So again, like I said, watch that. Because if you're having to question, like, I haven't heard from you in 5 days, or we haven't talked in like 3 days. If you were with that person and it was a pretty solid foundation and you were communicating daily and whatnot, and you're not wanting to, or they're not wanting to right now, that's a pretty big red flag that, hey, maybe some feelings have changed. The next card you have is your distant future. So over the next few weeks, next few months, into the end of the year. And you have the Two of Coins. And the Two of Coins is about planning. Looking forward, it's about goals, it's about priorities, but it's also about change and balancing things out. So this change that you're wanting is going to happen, whether it's just change in meeting good people, or change in getting off the dating scene and watching a different video for people who are coupled, right? Whatever it is, the next few months are going to be about figuring out what your priorities are. There's going to be a major shift. And the reason I say, Gemini, there's going to be a major shift is this star. I mean, that's fantastic. That's probably the best read. I still have 2 or 3 more reads to do, but that's probably the best read I've had so far, Gemini. The star in both the theme and your outcome, that's phenomenal. So, I mean, we could skip this whole read and just say, hey, you have the star and the star. I don't want to do that because it's not always going to end up that way, right? Things change. But to have that, rest assured, change is coming. You have to believe it. You have to have hope. Slow your roll here. Don't get like freaked out, possessive. Don't let like, oh, I'm just going to get hurt. Don't let any of that come in. Just take your time and let that person have their time too. It's not, you know, like they have people that they need to talk to and they need to make sure that they feel secure in this too. So if you're dating, rest assured things are changing and plans are coming and you're going to balance things out. But right now, Gemini, you're kind of feeling a little anxious, like you're teeter-tottering. And balance is all about 1 minute you're going to feel one way, right? 1 minute you're going to feel like pushy, like come on. And the next minute you're going to feel the opposite. You're going to feel like, okay, she's right. Slow my roll. I got this. There's no hurry. We can do this. If you're looking to reconcile, I think this is change. I think it's change that, I really think it's change that maybe your ex is telling you what they think you need to hear, but in reality they're doing something completely different, or you're telling your ex, yeah, we could probably figure this out, but at the same time, you're spending way too much time talking to somebody else. I don't know that this change and the priorities that come are going to be in your favor as far as reconciling. And Gemini, I get the feeling some of you don't care. This hurriedness may just be, come on, I want to know. Like, we've been talking. Or, again, it could be that you're going to talk this month. And they're going to tell you everything you've ever wanted to hear. And you're going to be like, okay, well, you said you're going to put a ring on it. Where's my ring? And then you're going to realize, oh, I've been dealing with this a lot. They've told me a lot of things that have not come to fruition. And I'm going to make some changes. All right, the next card you have is the Ace of Coins. And the Ace of Coins, interesting here, okay, because you have a lot of coins. And, yeah, you have a lot of coins. And you have a lot of cups. But coins are very, very interesting. These are earth signs. These are Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. So, Gemini, you might be dealing with Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus. And you have them, you know, 4, 2, and ace. It's always like, it's almost like 2 by 2 by 2 synchronicity. Anyways, I just noticed that. But the Ace of Coins is your immediate future. So this is, you know, throughout October over the next week or two. And it's about beginnings, opportunities, prosperity, potential. So, again, even though you're feeling like, what's going on? And you're trying to rush things, or you're feeling like, hey, I thought we really liked each other. Where are we going? You're going to get here this month and get to this star. Just take it easy, Gemini. Take it easy. If you're looking to reconcile, unfortunately, I think that this is all about beginnings. And it's new beginnings, change. You're going to graduate from the Ace to the 2, which goes in order. So, you know, that's pretty amazing, Gemini. But you are going to go from the Ace to the 2. So you're going to have the potential, the beginnings with somebody else. You're going to have the change. Some of you are going to come back to me and say, well, no, it's with, you know, my ex. And that's fantastic if that's what happens. If you guys start off new, if you switch your priorities, if you decide that you're going to see the potential in each other and start a new beginning, great. You'll grow into this too. There will be changes. It'll be balanced. But Gemini, from the reading so far, I don't think it's going to move in the direction you want. And I think these are going to be new beginnings. And I think you're going to be okay with it. I don't think it's going to be anything that you're like, oh my gosh, this is terrible. I think some of you are already prepared for it. All right, the next card you have is going to be the 5 of Cups. This is any external factors that radiate throughout the month of October. Could be beginning, middle, end, or the entire time, or hardly at all. But you have the 5 of Cups. And if you're single, the 5 of Cups is saying you need to be okay with whatever happens with these people that you're dating. Because this is about grief and sadness. And so you can't, it can't be like, I feel like, Gemini, maybe that some of you have this doomsday attitude. Like, maybe you're dating 3 people, and if one person you really like doesn't work out because maybe they decided to go a different direction, you can't be like, oh, I'm bummed. It's not working for me. Because you're not paying attention to this person right here. So I keep saying slow your roll, but I'm telling you, Gemini, slow it down. Because some of you are dating a few people and you're not paying attention to somebody who could be really good for you. And some people are going to eliminate themselves from your life, or you're going to eliminate them from your life. And you're going to feel kind of like this up and down throughout the month. Like, well, I thought this person was good for me and they're not. And I thought this person was good for me and they're not. You cannot have this, you know, devastation attitude or this doomsday attitude, because maybe you're dating 3 people and 2 of them drop off. Well, guess what? The universe has a funny way of deciding what's going to work for you and what's not, or helping show you the signs, or helping to redirect or accommodate what you're looking for. And that's exactly what the 5 is saying. It's saying, you know, there's going to be some loss. There's going to be some sadness or grief where you may be like, what the heck? I really liked him or her. I thought they were really cool. But there's other things at play here, right? You can't get to these new beginnings if you're not paying attention to what's right in front of you. If you're looking to reconcile, you are going to sense, you're going to have a loss. You're going to feel a sense of loss. Unfortunately, like I said, you're one of the few signs that has actually been kind of clear. And you may say, nah, it's not. But unfortunately, in the spread, it is. Because the 5 says that, you know, you're here, they're here. Now, it could be a factor of communication. It could be the fact that they're saying one thing and it's not happening and you're upset about it. Or you're saying one thing and it's not happening and they're upset about it. It could be this whole thing is a lack of communication. But the 5 of Cups is about loss, grief, sorrow. And so if you're looking to reconcile, I think that, you know, unless things happen, unless you guys communicate, and again, I think it's going to have to move quick. Otherwise, you're going to be downing, they're going to be downing, and you're going to go from there. And I think, like I said, it could be an earth sign because you have the coin showing up. Or it could be that you're leaving a water sign or a fire sign and you're going to meet an earth sign because you have a lot of coins, and coins represent, like I said, Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus. So, not to dwell on this, but you've been the first sign that I've been pretty sure that reconciliation may not necessarily be in the cards for you. All right, so the next card you have is the 2 of Wands. And the 2 of Wands is your internal factors. So this is how you're going to feel over the next, you know, month, maybe even into November. For some reason, I'm getting, like, because you have this star here, you may be having, some of this may bleed into the next month because it seems like a lot of stuff going on for you, Gemini, that may take more than the month. But the 2 of Wands is an excellent card. The 2 of Wands is all about clarity. It's all about seeing things clear. It's all about making decisions. It's all about looking forward and planning. So if you're single, the 2 of Wands is saying, look, you're going to have this 2 people here, and you're going to make some plans, and you're going to look forward. But this is also what you're feeling internally. So you're feeling kind of like, I'm ready. I want to, you know, I want to do this. I want to make things happen. And I want to get to where I have a relationship, and I want things to move forward because, gosh, I've got goals and whatever. Not whatever, but you know what I mean. And then the 2 of Coins, which is your distant future, is going along with that. Because that's also planning. That's also making things happen. So, Gemini, you're going to feel like this. You might feel a little bit like lackluster, like it's not quite moving in the direction I want it to. But it will. Trust me, it will. The next card you have, oh, sorry, if you're looking to reconcile the 2 of Wands, I hate to do that. Sometimes I'm like, I get caught up in a thought and I'm like, I know, and then I move on too quick. All right, so if you're looking to reconcile, the 2 of Wands is also about planning and goals, making a future for yourself, but I think this is going to be yourself. I don't think it's going to be with anybody right this second. But like I said, I think some of this is going to bleed into November. And I think that the star is very pertinent for you if you're looking to reconcile, because it's about hope. It's about meeting somebody new. It's about making changes. The next cards you have are your hopes and fears for the outcome of October. And you have the Six of Cups. And then your outcome, which we know already is the star because it matches that and it's beautiful. And I'm jealous because I wish that my sun, moon, or rising was a Gemini. Although I have to say, like, probably 3 of my immediate family members are Gemini. So I actually, you know, have a love-hate relationship with them. And I actually love Geminis to death. But anyways, the Six of Cups is about nostalgia. So I'm kind of thinking that this past that's like interrupting your thought process, that is making you wary. And again, like I said, Gemini, some of it's tragedy, and tragedy that I may never be faced with, and I don't wish on anybody. So my deepest condolences for anybody who's been through terrible times, because I have bet not probably to the degree that some people have. And every time I see that card, it just breaks my heart. So I think that you're going to end the month feeling kind of like this. And the Six of Cups is revisitation, childhood, but it's nostalgia. So it's a really good revisitation. I think this energy is going to release itself, and you're going to be able to look back and say, it was amazing, whether it was past relationship, whether it was a family member that died, whether it was, you know, something that you went through personally, whatever the case is, you're going to be able to look back on the good by the end of the month. But honestly, I think that has something to do with the fact that things are going to start looking up. I think you might be coming into the month going, screw this, like, I'm pissed, I don't like this. And then by the end of the month, you're going to be going, okay, I've got this. Life goes on, life happens, and you know, you've got to make the best of it. You can either choose to love it or hate it. And I think that, yes, you'll be encouraged by maybe meeting somebody incredible or narrowing it down, even though you'll feel kind of like a loss because nobody likes to be rejected or neglected. But it is what it is. Your outcome, like I said, is the star. And the Six of Cups, if you're looking to reconcile, is you looking back. And I think this is more you looking back saying, what do I want? What did I grow up with? What, you know, do I want to, like, leave for a legacy of my unborn children or the children you have now? What do I want to reminisce about? Or what do I want my kids to reminisce about when they, you know, are older and they're in my position? And I think the Six says that if you're looking to reconcile, you're going, that's my goal. That's what I'm planning for. That's what I'm looking forward to. So if you're looking to reconcile, like I said, I don't know that you're going to reconcile. I don't believe that you are going to. I hate to say that, but it's true. I really don't believe that you will. Okay. For now, things change. You have to understand that. These reads are impermanent. They don't resonate with everybody. They can change depending on a lot of things. So don't ever take it to, this is, you know, not just me, whoever you're watching. Don't take it to this end-all, be-all, because it's never like that, right? The universe changes things all the time. But the star is your outcome card. And if you're single, this is amazing. This is hope. Like I said 50 million times during this read, it's inspiration, it's self-esteem, and it's generosity. So this person that you might be pushing in your direction, or the people that you might be pushing in your direction, or even somebody who makes you feel like maybe they're not accommodating, this is going to come back and surprise you, and you're going to see that they are. And this is also about self-esteem. So like I said, I think you're going to be feeling a lot better about whatever this is and things that you're not feeling so great about in the beginning. And then you're going to feel better about it because this is about self-esteem. So at some point, your self-esteem this month is going to lift, and you're going to feel like 10 times better about the outcome of dating and about the outcome of, you know, what you're going to be seeing in the future with this person or this few people. Again, it could take longer than October to actually, you know, figure out what or who you're going to be with, but it's going to be amazing either way. Like I said, Gemini, you know, I'm kind of jealous of your read. It's pretty good. And if you're looking to reconcile, I think that you're going to have hope and you're going to feel like, and some of you may already be dating. You may be like, well, I'm way past that. I've been dating, but this person came back into my life and they were like, hey, what's up? I'm here. And you're like, no, not going to happen. So again, I mean, if you're looking to reconcile, I don't think the outcome looks very good unless there's some major communication or some major changes. And I think you're just kind of going, I want to know either way. I want to know one way or another. But you may already, like I said, it could be that you haven't talked to each other in, you know, a few months. And now you're both dating and they communicate with you or you communicate with them. But you've already met somebody. So you know, like, the hope is there. And you know that you're not going to dwell on it either. All right, so the next two cards you have, I'm going to clarify really quick. You have Judgment for your outcome and the Ace of Wands for your distant future. So, I mean, we don't really need to clarify the outcome because it's also your theme of the month card and it's beautiful. But Judgment for your outcome is about meditating. It's about looking back. It's about seeing things clearly. So if you're looking or if you're dating, Judgment is saying that you are going to have to somewhere say, okay, I'm taking it all in. I can't be judgmental because I don't want anybody to treat me like that. I need to meditate a little bit. I need to think about this. I need to know that it's going to hit the direction I want it to go sooner than later. But I need to be cautious and make sure that I'm not, you know, assuming, oh, well, they're not rushing to me as fast as I thought they were, or we're not, you know, moving in together immediately. I think at the end of this month, you're going to be going, okay. Like, I've got to take it in stride and allow them to take it in stride, and then we'll get there. If you're looking to reconcile, this is you saying, you know, I'm looking back and I'm going, hey, it's not working for me the way I thought it would. Now, again, it could be some of you meditating, looking back and saying, hey, I miss you, I love you, and I want to make this happen. And I want to make, you know, good things happen. But at the same time, you know, it could just be, I hate to say this, and for some reason it jumped into my, head that, like, you got to be careful with this, because I think some of you are judging. I think some of you are going, screw you. You don't have a place in my life anymore. I waited. You left me feeling lost, and now I've got plans, and I'm moving forward. I don't know why that just came into my head. And you know what the other thing too, Gemini, is it could be Aquarius, because the star cards are Aquarius. Could be, yeah. I mean, the Aquarius card is the star, so some of you might be dealing with the star. All right, and last but not least, you have the Ace of Wands on top of your Two of Coins for your, you know, distant future. And the Ace, two aces here, by the way, which is your immediate future. The Ace is also a very beautiful card, because the Ace of Wands is about enthusiasm and passion. And I think some of you are really feeling that. You're going to, like I said, I think some of you need this push because you're feeling a little down about it, but you're going to get that push and you're going to meet somebody, or you're going to kind of narrow it down to who you're going to be with. I feel like a broken record with you, Gemini, for some reason. Probably because I am, but there's something going on here, Gemini, that's bigger than yourself. You just have to be able to accept it. So if you're single, the passion's going to be here. You're going to have energy. You're going to feel enthusiastic about this person. And it's going to be pretty amazing. It's going to be pretty amazing. And I think it's going to come in 8 days, 8 weeks. Again, because I pointed out the flow into November and I didn't even think about that. But it could be, or it could be in 2s, but some reason the 8s are sticking out for me. And if you're looking to reconcile, this Ace of Wands is about you having the energy. It's about you having the passion. It's about you knowing finally what you want and going after it and allowing it to come into your life. I know, Gemini, I'm going to get messages from people who are like, hey, we're going to get back together and everything's going to be wonderful. And yes, if that's what you want, it's possible. But I really feel like there's got to be some... You know what, Gemini? You know what it is? If you want to get back together with this person, they need to be showing you something. And I'm like, I don't even want to continue because I could just about to get like very real up in here. Not that I'm not, but like, I don't like to jump to conclusions. But Gemini, if they want to be a part of your life, then that demands respect. And I'm not saying like you're this holier than thou and you, but some of you have waited and waited and waited, and you have not gotten the attention you deserve, and you need that attention. Otherwise, you're going to be miserable. So, you know what? If they're not calling you and they're not texting you and you're feeling like this every time you talk to them, or you feel like you're waiting for them to progress or tell you what they want, or you're waiting for them to make the decision, or you're waiting for them to prove it to you, it's not worth it. Because I feel like some of you Gemini have waited for a long time. So if you're looking to reconcile with this person, they better be like damn special to deserve your attention. And this star gives you hope that if they're not, you can meet them. But I'm telling you what, Gemini, end the cycle. If you've been waiting for them to make decisions, if you've been waiting for them to communicate, if you've been waiting on anything, or they're telling you, let's move in together, and you don't hear from them for a week, that is not somebody who has your best interests at heart. And it is not somebody who is reciprocating what you deserve. Just going to say it. I could say a lot more, but I'm going to stop. All right. I hope you guys have a great month. Bye.